finished off this afternoon with 2 sublime centuries. He is without doubt the sport's biggest draw. If he wins this title, it will surely rank as one of snooker's all-time great performances. Can he do what so many said was impossible? He's the defending champion. Blink and you'll miss him. The Rocket, Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Fantastic reception for both men once again here. You know, many people felt that this is Ronnie's to lose this final, but so far it's a proper contest. It's not a coronation. 9 more frames to play this evening. The winning target 18, and his former UK champion John Virgo and the 1985 champion of the world Dennis Taylor, who are in the hot seats tonight. Good evening, gentlemen.
Very good evening, Hazel, and a very good evening to everyone watching.
Frame 9. They'll do, lads. Thank you. Frame 9.
What an atmosphere. Ronnie gets this first frame of the evening session underway, and well, JB, this Crucible crowd, most of them are on their feet for that introduction. It sends, shivers down you, doesn't it?
Well, it gives me tingles, Dennis. So how the players are supposed to react for the first few shots, and of course that's the ultimate. That's what you practice hard for, 6 hours a day, so you can come out in this arena and hopefully produce that form under the utmost pressure.
There's the average frame time, just under 13.5 minutes, so they're not hanging about. And I'm delighted for Barry Hawkins the way he played. He lost the first 2 frames and he came back with a break of 88, 81. And look at the pot success rate there, was both players in the 90s. There's the highest break from Ronnie. Knocked a few of these long ones in his semi-final. He hasn't quite got his long potting boots on just yet.
Barry just having a look at the possibility, I think, of a 3-ball plant to the left corner. He'll be thinking about getting the cue ball back to the ball cushion, but is it a plant? Not quite. And a little bit pacey on the safety.
Yeah, a bit of a tester for Ronnie. If he takes that red on to the left of the blue. Could play it in such a way. He's had a look to see what he would leave. He could play it to leave himself on the blue. So let's see if he can knock this long one in. No. Now where's that red going to finish? Just about okay. They can get it into the head, John, about the cloth being a little bit slower, but I mean the breaks they made. I mean, it's amazing. The table might be playing a little bit slower, but Ronnie's had back-to-back centuries, 2 70s, a 90 odd. Barry's had 2 80s and then 1 frame of 45 and a 50. Unbelievable standard.
Good shot, played it confidently. Now the question is, can he get through to the black? He can, just. Good shot. Now this this is a chance. Just what he needed. First frame of the evening.
8.
Get his hand on the table and start potting some balls.
Nine.
Oh, it's a little bit careless there.
There's the family, the Hawkins family. The dad
15.
just hiding behind there. Steve and Mum Caroline there. They must be so proud. And his sister in the middle there. I mean, this is fantastic for them.
16.
Wouldn't they like to see Barry get off to a good start? And he's got the chance now.
Yes, I thought it was a bit careless not getting on the red, but he was able to hold it. I mean, this is the one thing about the table playing a little bit slower. I feel you've got more control. I think sometimes the tables can get too quick.
Good point, JV, because I played Stephen Hendry yesterday. The match finished early. We had 3 frames on it, and the cloth was flying.
21.
And I think it's better for the players, and the breaks has proven it. If it's not quite as fast,
Just gone a little bit awkward. If it had been straight on this red, he'd been able to run through for the black in the opposite corner, but he's got to try and get up for the blue. So he's just got to be careful with the path of the cue ball.
only got plenty of action on that. So, okay, it's not the correct side of the blue, but played this with the reverse side, so it looks to have plenty of life in it, this cloth. Let's have a look at this. Look at that follow through. What a great shot that is, showing you the screw back.
That's a poor shot to catch a ball colour. At this level,
27.
he'll be very disappointed with that. Probably caused by the blue not going in the middle of the pocket, but nevertheless, he'll be very disappointed.
Barry Hawkins. 27.
So the break comes to a premature end, and he's not finished with the best of safety. Give himself a chance there. He'll be disappointed he didn't score more.
Not quite hard enough, but pretty good. Have a look at this screw shot here. Look where he strikes down, and look the follow through. That's what creates the backspin, and that's what you've got to do. Mind you, if you haven't got a good tip on your cue, you could rip the old cloth on the club table. Need to be careful when playing that. Bit too thin. The green and brown are the target to try and get in behind, and it's whoever gets a telling safety that will gain the advantage. And this might just be it. Oh, fractions out. It's still rather awkward. Can't take the pot on because of being hampered with the green.
Well, taking those things into consideration, what a tremendous shot that was from Barry Hawkins. Superb.
It's so easy to get a little bit of unwanted side when you're striking over a ball like that, and he cued that beautifully, as John said. That is such a difficult shot there, to hit the red that thin. Acknowledged by Barry, tapped the table. To judge that, John, it's such a difficult shot, isn't it?
Well, he's just so good in all departments, isn't he? You know, when we talk about the greatest players of all time, you know, he's always going to be up there because of his break building and his safety. That was an excellent shot from Barry, but one safety shot isn't going to force an opening necessarily. He needs another good safety, and this looks like one. This looks very good to me. That's very good.
Well, he's won that tactical battle. I said the first player to get in behind the green was going to gain the advantage. I don't know if he can just nestle on the 4 reds that are to the left of the black spot area near the cushion. I think he has. He's just about perfect here. Great to see all those breaks we talked about in the first session, but it's also very entertaining to watch this tactical battle.
Yes, and every frame is important for Barry. I know a lot of people were writing him off at the start of this final. If only sport was that easy to predict. But he needs to stay with Ronnie. And if he could somehow win this first frame, that would be another boost to his growing confidence. But you've got to work so hard for your chances with Ronnie. And the red in the middle of the table, just to the left of the pink spot, is possible. To the right corner.
And there's a path round the black if he takes that pot on. Yeah, didn't get the pot, but he got the path.
Well, he went for the pot, but the one thing he had to do was avoid that red on the right-hand side of the table. He'd be very disappointed with that. Okay, go for the pot, but don't kiss that red. Left Ronnie a comfortable starter.
Now then, we've seen Ronnie miss very little, but that will annoy him there. That could be quite a telling miss. Now that certainly makes things very interesting, especially if Barry can take advantage. He's already 27 in front. There's 4 or 5 reds available.
Well, didn't want to play for the black because the black is in such a position at the moment. If he potted it, it would get tied up, but he could have been better on the blue than this. Deciding on the pink. It's handy to have the pink back on it, but as I say, he's a little bit worried about potting the black because the black could get tied up and also tie up a few of the reds. He may have not much option here. He's not got perfect on this red, so he may have to play for the black here. It'd certainly be the easier colour to get on. Well, decided to play up for the pink.
8.
And played it well. That's a good shot. Run through now for the open red to the opposite corner.
Dead straight on this red would be better, but even if he's got a slight angle,
14.
he might be able to nudge those two reds away from the black spot area and still stay on the black. He's got the red up near the yellow if he can't hold position. It just depends how he feels, whether he wants to risk that. He may not want to do that. Yep, don't blame him for that.
15.
Although, looking at the angle he's finished on the pink, are there any of those reds available into the left corner pocket? Or does he have to force it back across the table? Forced it back across the table, and he made a pretty good job of it. Now he can clear the black spot area.
21.
He can pop this red, nudge the other one out of the way, and the black spot will be clear.
Well, I didn't open them too much. Just sent them into a worse position, really. Oh, well. Trying to...
Barry Hawkins.
How many
22.
times do we see it? How many times have we seen it in this championship? Players sacrificing the pot for position. Just concentrating on the cannon. You've got to pot the ball on.
This red's hampering his cueing slightly. That's difficult. That was always difficult. There's just a couple of signs that Ronnie's lost a little bit of focus here, and we've seen very little of that in this year's World Championship. I think he's missed more in this opening frame of this session than we've seen, you know, and some of the whole of his session.
Well, it's a great opportunity now for Barry to clinch this frame. 57 points the lead. So, red colour red. And that would be enough. Could have done with coming a little bit further down on this black, but there is a red that's available into the same pocket as the black, and that's all he'll need. And played it well. So this red will put him 66 points in front with just 59 remaining. Well played.
17.
Okay, it was a little bit fortunate when he missed the pink, that he left Ronnie O'Sullivan very awkward cueing. I think that's why Ronnie missed the red. But sometimes you need a bit of luck along the way.
24.
Will Ronnie stay in his seat? He just signals to referee, and Verhaas concedes the frame. The